Hi class, we're reading the story, The Long, Long Journey today. I'm gonna read it with you. That means I'll be reading it, you'll be listening, and you can also pause and reread it to make sure that you're working on your own reading skills. This story is called The Long, Long Journey, and this is an informational text. That means it is nonfiction. It gives us facts about a topic. So as we're reading, I want you to pay close attention to the order of events of this story and think about what the main topic and details are, and pay close attention to not just the words, but also the pictures too. That way you're picking up on all the details, because at the end of this reading, there will be a couple of questions that I'll be asking you to write your answers to. Let's get right into this story, The Long, Long Journey by Sandra Markle. This is illustrated by Mia Posada. And I can already tell from looking at this that this is a story about a long journey. About what? Who is taking that journey? Look at the picture. What do you think? Let's get right into it. Crackle, 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 the little female bar-tailed godwit at last breaks free of her egg. So we're learning about a new kind of bird. It's called a godwit. The little female bar-tailed godwit at last breaks free of her egg. She steps into the world on long, wobbly legs. It's nearly midnight, but it's June in Alaska and still light. A cool wind blows the chick's downy coat. She shivers, lifts her beak, and squeaks, beep, beep. The little female was the last to hatch. 2 sisters and a brother are nearby with their father. They are hunting insects in the grass. Their mother, next to the nest, trills softly, and the chicks come running. Look at that word, trills. Their mother, next to the nest, trills softly, and the chicks come running. Can you guess what that word trills means? It's like a quiet sound, like I hope you like my trill. Their mother next to the nest trills softly, and the chicks come running. They huddle with their sister, and their mother settles over them. This way, the newest chick stays warm and joins the family. For 2 days, the chicks stay close to the nest. Their parents take turns sitting on them to keep them warm. In between these rests, parents and chicks search for food. The parents need to double their body weight before fall. The chicks need to grow up and become strong. The little female learns to hunt spiders, crane fly larvae, and beetles. She eats all she can find. Okay, let's read that sentence again, because those are some interesting words. The little female learns to hunt spiders, crane fly larvae. I guess larvae are little tiny baby for crane flies, and beetles. She eats all she can find. I'm going to recommend you pause right here and maybe reread the whole book to yourself now, or maybe rewind and have me read it to you again so that you're sure that you're following what's happening so far. Let's continue. Uh-oh, look at this picture. What's happening here? Now I'm a little worried about our little buddy. Soon, the little godwit and her family wander farther as they feed. But they are rarely alone. Lots of other godwits nest and feed in the treeless land. Sometimes other hunters come searching for food too. One day, an Arctic fox sneaks up and slips close to the little female. What do you think is going to happen here? Let's see. But her father spots the fox and squawks a warning. The little female is not yet able to fly. She crouches low and stays still. Her coloring helps her blend in with the grass. Her father flaps his wings and swoops at the fox. Her mother joins the attack, and so do other adult godwits. The fox runs off without its meal. Whew, that's a relief. For almost a month, the female godwit chick eats and grows bigger. She also grows feathers and loses her fluffy down coat. When the chick isn't eating, she's hopping and flapping her wings. Her wings grow stronger with each flap. Then, one day, the young female godwit hops and flaps hard. For the first time, she does what godwits do best. She flies. What an exciting day that must be for the godwit. All of a sudden now it has a superpower. It can fly. In mid-August, the mother godwit leaves. The young birds stay near their father. They eat and practice flying hour after hour, so their wings grow even stronger. At last, they follow their father to the coast. They join thousands of godwits gathered on Alaska's Cape Avanoff mudflats. Let's read that word again. They join thousands of godwits gathered on Alaska's Cape Avanoff mudflats. And I think we've talked a little bit about when we were studying landforms in science about that word coast. That basically means the area right along a body of water where we often find beaches or something like that. So they all follow their father to the coast with thousands of other godwits. The young female prances across the mud on her long legs. Every step or two, she pokes her long beak deeply into the muddy ground to find and eat tunneling worms and tiny clams. In September, flock after flock of adult godwits leave the mud flats. That's like a flock is a crowd of birds. I think we know that. By mid-October, mostly only young birds remain. The young female is one of the flock. She practices flying with the other godwits. In between flights, she feeds alongside them. She eats and eats, growing very plump. Finally, when dark clouds sweep overhead, the young female rises with the flock. She is pushed southward by strong winds. Her long journey has begun. The young female flies through unfamiliar skies and over unknown seas. Although not one young bird has made this flight before, together they know the route to take. Isn't that amazing? They've never flown that way before, but all together they seem to somehow naturally just know where to go. Although not one young bird has made this flight before, together they know the route to take. The young female squawks again and again as she flies. By listening for other godwit voices, she stays with the flock, even in thick clouds and heavy rain. So they keep making noise so they all stay together and don't get lost, even if they're blinded by clouds and dark. Uh-oh, now look what I see. One day a peregrine falcon hunting over an island swoops out of the clouds with wings folded and talon-tipped toes stretched out. The falcon aims straight for the young female, but she pumps her wings hard, climbs fast, and escapes. Another godwit isn't so lucky. So it's dangerous being a godwit. The young female doesn't sleep for long, though. She needs to eat to get back her strength. She'll stay in New Zealand for 2 years until she's ready to raise a family of her own. Then, when March brings cool winds, she'll once again join the godwit flock and make the long, long journey back to Alaska. All right, I'm going to pause the video now, or rather I'm going to ask you to pause the video, go back to the beginning of the book, and maybe read the whole thing again, or listen to the whole video again so you get everything, all the details, nice and locked in your brain, and you know what's going on. And then I want you to go online, open up the file that says The Long Journey Response Questions, and answer these 2 questions. If you're not going to do it online, answer them on paper and take a picture and send it in. Question 1 asks us, godwit chicks stay with their parents when they are young. How does this help them survive? So you're going to have to go back to the beginning of the text and write about what they do with their parents when they are young. Question 2, using what you learned from this text, explain what it would be like to be a godwit chick. So I want you to think about everything you learned about being a godwit chick, and then write maybe 4, maybe 5 sentences about what it would be like if you were a godwit chick. What would it feel like? What would it seem like? Is it scary? Is it exciting? I'm not going to give you too many more ideas because I want your ideas. Take some time, type it online or write it, hit submit if you're doing it online, or grab somebody and take a photo and send it to me. I hope you enjoyed this story. You might even want to read it again to yourself. Thank you.